The Square Ball Podcast.
The question on everybody's lips, Michael. Everybody's talking about it in the pubs on Briggott in Leeds. I was thinking of a street then in Leeds.
Okay.
Who's
Name another.
Headrow.
Cool. All Quiet on Water Lane.
Ball Lane.
Yeah.
Mill Hill, obviously.
Famous.
Not such great memories for. Anyway, all people are talking about in the streets. Who's going to win the Square Balls Player of the Year this year? And 3 games into the season, the fight is really beginning to take shape.
It is.
Who's going to win Player of the Year?
Well, Dan James was in second place, but now we know he's injured for the season, most likely. So he's not going to win it.
That helped him the other season, though, when he was loaned to Fulham.
That is true.
Didn't he finish in our top 3 that year or something?
Kept him in the hunt, yeah.
So
as the form went off a cliff.
An injury is often the best way to do well in this.
Yeah, so we got Matteo Joseph, 6.52, 6.51, Dan James down to Nonto.
As voted out of 10 by our TSB Plus members,
Strouk and Purdue. Down the bottom, we have Max Verber, 1.77.
Wow.
Is his rating so far from his one appearance.
Yeah. What did he score in that game then?
1.77.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
So we will watch it eagle-eyed to see who takes the trophy. We've still not actually furnished the. I was going to say Joe Rodon, but it's probably his mum who's going to get it from you,
So to speak,
as it were, when we get that one in the post. But Matteo Joseph on for the trophy so far.
Yep, doing well.
Good stuff.
And Max Verber's still got work to do. That's what he would say. Will he leave? It feels like he's going to leave, and it's felt like he was going to leave right from him coming back.
Farke said in Thursday's press conference he will not be leaving. Definitely, no, he said they don't expect anyone to leave. I'm all for, as Rob's been advocating, go for at least until January punishment benching.
Make him hand in a transfer request and then he loses any loyalty bonus or whatever. Because, I'm really torn on it because he clearly doesn't want to be here, I don't think, and he's pretty rubbish. So I kind of want us to sell him, but then it's the headache of, you've got to buy someone else then, haven't you?
Well, that's one of the things that another Dan, picked out for our likes and dislikes. So we'll analyse those. Was talking about a dislike being the bench at Sheffield Wednesday, which we didn't really need much of because thankfully we won that a bit of a canter. But 2 keepers and a handful of kids on the bench. We need bodies. But, we've had bodies arrive since, and I think.
We have like actual options now. If we thought we did until Dan James got injured. But that's the point of signing new players, isn't it? That you accept that the bench gets thin at points, but seeing the bench thin at the start of a season is the worrying bit, isn't it? Yeah.
Speaking of thin, Dan and Ruby didn't like Barry Bannon's hairline in Friday's game.
That got a lot of shouts, didn't it? To be fair,
it did. The tiara of hair.
The roughhouse nonsense from Sheffield Wednesday was picked up on by Dicko. The bastard's getting annoyed at being outplayed, so deciding to try and break some legs instead. It's very naughty, isn't it?
There's a bit of anger creeping in already for our exciting new fullback. David's swapping Ayling for a $5 million replacement. At worst at defending and not as good at attacking.
I think he's looked pretty useful going forward as Bogle.
I think he looks all right, and let's see how he does, I suppose.
Also, watching the game back, he was better than I thought. Like going forward, there's a couple of nice passes, but also the left winger who we thought was giving him a hard time. Every time he did sit Bogle on his ass, admittedly, Bogle just got up and blocked the cross, so it was fine.
There you've got Liam Miller, haven't they, Hull? That guy who caused Archie a load of problems
the Preston
for Preston.
Right.
They signed him over summer.
Okay.
You know who's been coaching him, though, this summer?
Oh, go on.
Jesse Marsh.
Oh, of course, Canadian. Yeah.
So we'll be shite now.
Yeah. and also, he was causing problems down the flanks, wasn't it, before?
Exactly, yeah.
None of that. Cut that right out. Just get up the middle with everyone else.
You can just cut to Saturday now and he scored a hat-trick. Never mind.
Well, I mean, that was up against Archie, though, who's finished as a footballer.
Michael mentioned that he doesn't understand, this was one of his dislikes, doesn't understand the heat that Mellier's getting over choosing to punch that ball rather than catch it. As a former goalkeeper, that was a perfectly rational decision. I think that just goes to reinforce the stereotype about goalkeepers being a bit mad, though, doesn't it?
And also, this is the way they'll support each other, the goalkeepers' union.
Right.
And also, it's just funny. Like, it just looked weird.
It was weird.
Good.
Weird is the word. Weird is the word. Yeah.
Yeah, it was because it wasn't ineffective. He got it out of a danger area. It did look like he could have. I suppose the payoff with it is if you try to catch it and you drop it in a very dangerous area. If you punch it, even if you scuff it a bit, you're still knocking it some way out, aren't you? Is the theory of punching over catching.
Rachel's dislike. We are 2 songs down following Jimmy's departure, and it's starting to worry me. Yeah, we are. We need some more chance, don't we? On the flip side, Rachel did appreciate the absolute peach of a through ball by Matteo Joseph for Dan James's goal. which was beautiful. Wasn't it? Do you reckon you could do that?
Yeah.
In your head?
I could have done the Dan James finish too.
I'm still maintaining you meant that.
I would love to see you trying to race away from a back four from about, 50 yards?
Did you see the clip doing the rounds of Fulkrug playing for West Ham yesterday?
Yes, I did. I saw that.
Someone pointed out that he starts 5 yards offside and he still gets caught within about 10 yards by the fullback.
He looks like he's running backwards, doesn't he?
Because he's a very basic old style striker, isn't he? Quite good at shooting and stuff, but yeah, running onto the ball, not so much.
Hey, controversial opinion here from Yorkie Dave. Yorkie Dave likes the more direct attacking without all the Georgie pissing around stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting. Because Nonto did quite a bit of cutting in as well, didn't he, in this game, which I guess he was covering certain...
God, I miss him.
Certain Georgie jobs.
I really miss him. The big goofy idiot.
It's fine. We'll get another goofy idiot soon.
Not like Georgie.
He's a little bit of a one-off, I suppose, just for his sheer sort of Labrador qualities that he had about him.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll move on one day. Maybe I will. The King of Spain was very much liking not having to worry about going for a wee in case Sheffield Wednesday scored while he wasn't watching.
Jez disliked liking Aronson.
Oh.
Conflicting, I suppose. It's weird how easily he's been forgiven now.
He's on the redemption arc. Yes, all you have to do is perform for Leeds. He'll score 30 goals, as we said, and that's it.
That's always the deal. Again, watching that back, it was funny actually seeing he wasn't as good as I first thought. Like, he still did a lot of annoying, losing the ball, falling over bits. But his attitude, I thought, was a lot better. Like, he wasn't whining at the ref. He'd just get up and try, win it back. And also, it's a good sign that he doesn't have to be amazing. He can just be Brendan Aronson, and there's a space for him in this team. That's good.
Yeah, if he just scored the 30 goals, as we're suggesting, that'd probably be fine, wouldn't it?
On track for it.
Yeah. And as we know, 30 goals equals 30 points.
Oh, God.
After you've been diving into Tom Numbers, Sunshine, don't you come at me with that.
Tom Numbers has got...
This is statistically borne out.
Well, you'll see what's borne out when Johan Cruyff comes out of witness protection and the grave simultaneously, along with Princess Diana, and then you'll have egg on your face, won't you?
I think people enjoy the redemption arc as well. They might not admit it, but actually there is any form of narrative, like the X Factor style journey from A to B, people enjoy it.
Milana was in the away end at Sheffield Wednesday.
Is that right?
Yep. Saw her videos on Instagram. Because I'm keeping an eye. Speaking of eggs, Mal says Barry Bannon looking like an egg that's been picked up from a barbershop floor.
There are probably as many shouts for Andy Hinchcliffe as there are for Barry Bannon's hairline as well. King of Spain says 4 times in 15 days. It's a heavy burden to bear.
We need to pick a hero and villain of the week then from all that. Factor all that into our thinking. Hero of the week, by the way, sponsored by the tuktukclub.com. 15% off. TSB 15. Use that code with your booking. Go see Bruce and all the gang. Leeds fans in Northern Thailand doing tours of Northern Thailand with tuk-tuk. So you can drive yourself, you can be driven. Have a look, thetuktukclub.com. Let's start off with our villain of the week then, shall we? Our Ken Bates villain of the week.
I mean, Barry Bannon's barber, for a nice alliterative one.
Do you think he has a barber though, Michael? Come on, really?
Of course he does.
He feels like a surgeon.
What do you mean?
He's got a surgeon rather than a barber. If he had a barber would be saying to him, look, mate, come on. Somebody needs to have staging an intervention.
It's a long distance barber from Turkey, isn't it?
The problem is with the person who's not implanting or trying to, at least.
Yeah.
Just dropping straight back out.
Can we just pause for a second? What is happening there? As our resident baldman.
What's happening with his hair transplants?
Yeah, I mean, so somebody's evidently having a go at that.
Yeah.
And it's not working.
No.
Why is it not working?
Couldn't tell you.
Right.
I think he's got quite an old face as well, and maybe his body just doesn't want the hair.
Right.
Just thinks this would look better if it was gone. But yeah, as his barber, I suppose, problem is he's a footballer. I know it's Sheffield Wednesday, but he's probably fairly well paid. He's probably getting a very good tip off Barry Bannon. So he's treading a fine line. He's thinking, well, he normally gives me like 50 quid tip here. If I address the fact that he should just get rid of this.
Just bick it.
Or like even sort of say, Barry, it's a little bit thin towards the back. Do you want me to try and do something?
The back being the bit from your neck to your forehead.
Yeah, the bit between where your forehead sort of wrinkles. It starts thin in there, and then it's thin to like kind of your neck,
your shoulder blades.
It only gets worse. That's
I'll say this. I've just had a look on his Wikipedia page, and obviously anybody can edit Wikipedia, but the photo of him on there very much suggests he's been editing his own Wikipedia page because he's got a fine head of hair on there.
He's not playing for us, is he?
No, it's playing for Scotland in 2011.
Oh, it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. I mean, were there any proper villains?
Not really, was there?
They quite politely rolled over and died for us. It felt like there was not much fight back from them, which was quite nice. The ref wasn't.
They should do that for the rest of the season. All the teams.
Yeah, the ref wasn't horrendous as I remember. Hinchcliffe's bad. He's always bad.
Is it transfer related then?
We could give it Wilder just because he's been a right moaning little bitch for the last week, albeit it is funny.
Yeah, but the payoff needs to come from that, doesn't it? Like we need to sign Hamer in order for that to fulfil its ultimate destiny and possibly. Would this be the first transfer that killed a football manager through spontaneous combustion?
More bids for more of his players. And make it be known that we could take every single one of them if we wanted them, but we don't because they're not good enough.
Well, have you, and you.
Yeah, exactly.
If we wanted.
Yeah, and send him proof that his wife's agreed to go out on a date with us as well.
Right.
But we decided not to.
Yeah. Why?
Just busy.
It's a chance for you to say,
you coward.
Chance for you to say, I've got a better wife, but no.
No, but no, Mrs. Normanton.
I have to see Mrs. Wilder. Not done the research.
Oh, dear me. Yeah, is it him? Just because he's been really chippy about Leeds. He hates us, doesn't he?
I mean,
He hates us.
it is also quite... I do like him being chippy, is the thing.
Yeah.
But still, he can have it.
But this is pantomime, isn't it? And we need a
True enough.
pantomime villain.
Yeah, fine.
It would probably upset him as well.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't like people from Leeds talking about him. So if he knows that he's been nominated for this, it might upset him a touch.
Do you think he refers to us privately as that fancy lot from the north?
Well, if Moscow's to be believed, he's a Cockney. So
Yeah.
we have to go back to that impression, of course, which was legendary.
I do feel more aggrieved, actually, by Barry Bannon's barber. And it trips off the tongue nicely, that alliteration. I feel more aggrieved by that than Chris Wilder.
Balding Barry Bannon's barber.
Yeah.
We're not balding, he's balded.
He's a baldman.
He's a baldman. He is a baldman in all but a few strands.
So we're giving it to Barry Baldman's Banan's barber.
Yeah, fine. All right, fine.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, Wilder then. Fine.
Yeah. Dickhead managers then. Scott Parker dared to utter the name of Marcelo Bielsa and talk about his predictable patterns of play the other year. Whether that was right or not, we don't care. But do you think he's having a nice time now? Scott Parker.
Burnley as a whole are a hero nomination because a while ago we were feeling sad about our transfers and all our players being nicked and stuff, and that's now happening at Burnley, and they're having a nice little implosion over there, and Sheffield United obviously are panicking about us stealing their players, and bear in mind they are meant to be our main competitors in this league. You kind of go, oh, okay, this looks all right actually.
Yeah.
Maybe everyone's shambolic.
It's like with Burnley getting Jadon Anthony. Oh, I think he's fine. But I'm like, they can't be that good because we had him last season.
Yeah. Leeds reject. Whoa.
You're too shit to play for Leeds. But you were fine, and I know you had some difficult circumstances while you were here. And in another year, you'd have probably started more games, and it might have gone
doesn't scan though. It doesn't scan.
No, it's too much nuance. It's shit.
I walked past Turf Moor yesterday on my day out. I had a day out. Got the train over
to Burnley.
I got a train over to Burnley, and then walked back to Hebden Bridge over the moors, and 2 different places you could not possibly imagine.
Cultural journey.
Yeah, from one to the other. But
what's the best vegan cafe in Burnley?
Well, it's not the Royal Dyche.
I was going to say, is it the Dyche or the company anymore?
Well, there is a pub at the end of it's on Yorkshire Street, I think, isn't it, or something like. It's called Yorkshire Street that turns into one of their ex-players' way or whatever, where the stadium is, and the Royal Dyche is there, just under the other side of the aqueduct as you get towards the ground, and everything is kind of in claret and blue on the signs on the streets.
Is it an aqueduct?
It's the Leeds-Liverpool canal that goes above your head.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Burnley has an aqueduct.
Modern technology.
I know, amazing. The canal's famously modern, yes. Yeah. But the Royal Dyche is there, and as I walked past the Royal Dyche, it said on the sandwich board outside, the right signs and whatever, it said August 31st, 12:30 kickoff, Burnley versus Bastards. That's what it said there. And I genuinely stopped, got my phone out and thought, Are we playing Burnley on the 31st? But I think it must be Blackburn.
It might be that for every game. They might change the date.
Yeah.
Whoever they're playing.
Yeah, but it did make me smile a little bit. I had a thought in my own head. I thought about shouting out to nobody in particular over the street as I walked past. Can the last one out turn off the lights? And I was pleased with myself.
Didn't do it though, did you?
No, I thought it.
Yeah, okay.
That's the important thing.
Yeah, so Burnley are in a hero nomination just for that going a bit wrong. Because they won the first games quite handsomely, didn't they? And it was like, oh shit, they're going to be good this year. And now they're selling everyone. And Scott Parker's in a bit of a flap. There's someone had to resign or something because of some messages that have gone astray.
I was going to say, have you seen the insane conspiracy theory level story that's going round that Scott Parker meant to text his under-21s coach something about the first team players all being dickheads and shit or whatever, words to that effect, but accidentally sent it to the under-21s group instead, who obviously leaked it immediately within the squad. So everybody just wants out. He's ready to walk. He's been let down by it's just good. It's not us.
It never seemed to fit, I have to say, Parker to Burnley. It's like when Eddie Howe went there and you were like, no, that can't last.
He's starting to get a good reputation for just fucking things up though, isn't he? Like, it was Bournemouth he got promoted, wasn't it? But then he was saying they're all rubbish.
Game and he went out of shit. Yeah.
They're all terrible. What do you expect me to do? So they went, well, we'll get someone else then and they might do something. And he did. And then he went to Belgium and was there for about 6 weeks or something.
Yeah.
So
Fulham fans have been replying to these tweets to the effect that he falls out with everybody eventually.
It's not. It's Burnley Academy chief David Longwell has been forced to step down after writing a warts and all assessment outlining the negative aspects of each player in Claret's boss Scott Parker's squad, apparently.
Oh, right.
So whether we can blame Scotty Scott directly or not, I'm not sure. But I have just scrolled down and I've seen him in one of his jackets. So sack him, would be my opinion.
Just thinking about this, because the Tuk Tuk Club are now sponsoring this feature, we should maybe have a Tuk Tuk shaped trophy made for this.
Difficult, I would say. This one was
maybe hero of the season.
This one was very kindly 3D printed for us. I think a Tuk Tuk is a touch more complicated.
we can deliver it in a tuk-tuk
Can we?
to
I'll leave
one of
that
their
to you.
mums. Yeah.
Well done for
You get the address, Michael.
volunteering on that. Yeah, so heroes. I mean, there was lots to like about the performance at Hillsborough. Who's it going to be out of those lot? Dan James?
Matteo Joseph
Willie
was
Nonto?
official man of the match.
Pie Man.
Pie Man. Yeah, Pie Man.
Yeah.
He was good.
Yeah, because, you'd hope that Dan James, Matteo Joseph, Willie Nonto, the people who just played well, we'd hope they will have other days this year. Unless Pie Man's got something up his sleeve.
That was his moment, wasn't it?
That was his moment.
And he nailed it as well. Like, he was the most composed, calm figure in all of that as he was falling through an advertising audience.
It was like the joyful opposite of what happened with Aaron Corley, who ran onto the pitch and punched Chris Kirkland. Had his moment there. Apart from falling off the upper tier at, was it Chelsea and breaking injuring himself apparently. Yeah. But this was all smiles.
Yeah, it was a nice friendly pitch incursion. Still technically breaking the law.
But he fell rather than incurred.
Doesn't matter down in the eyes of the law. He needs to go to prison.
Got banning order.
Right.
I think it's only fair.
But
don't ban Pie Man.
The way Pie Man nursed that pie, looked after it, popped it in his mouth.
The way he was smiling for the
Smile for
pictures.
the camera, yeah.
It was all good.
It was the icing on the pie.
That's what they always say.
The famous
icing on the pie.
So Pie Man, well done.
I think it's a fair winner.
Yeah, our hero of the week. Back with more updates then. We'll have another one of these after the weekend. Propaganda's moving, isn't it? We're moving it to Wednesday.
Yes.
Is it because you're lazy? Did you decide that?
No, it's for reasons.
I can't be asked. I want to have a line on a Monday. I don't want to do it.
The actual problem is that in this Poxy League, you'll tend to get people uploading stuff quite lazily to YouTube. You don't quite have the same bedroom warriors that you get in the Premier League who are all busy recording themselves live streaming every game. So sometimes you have to wait and it's like a Monday night and then, some poxy West Brom channel will upload something. I'm like, for fuck's sake, it's Monday night. I'm meant to be in bed here. And then I have to listen to it and it's, ready for a Tuesday morning. So I'm blaming other fans of other lesser teams.
Right. This Poxy League.
This Poxy League.
So yeah, Propaganda will be shifting to Wednesday. So we'll be doing another update. So it won't be a weekly update. It'll be a twice weekly update. Imagine that.
It's going to be a bit freeform.
Yeah. More of the good stuff. Yeah. More fun. We can do stuff. We can do whatever we want. It's our show.
I'll have a week off. Oh, not that. No, I'll come in and do it. Fine.
Oh, thanks, mate. You're so good to us. So we'll be back with a transfer roundup. So the next few shows that are coming out, look out for Bryn Law coming out tomorrow. We recorded that just ahead of this. Really good value was Bryn, as he always is.
He doesn't know of all the signings we've made today.
No.
Start tomorrow.
But we do refer to the famous dildo in the ear that happened. Was that at Norwich, I'm going to say? The dildo in the ear?
That doesn't feel very Norwich. It feels, I don't know. Might be wrong. It just feels like a nice family club.
If I Google dildo in the ear on the work Wi-Fi, will I get in trouble?
Nah, it'll be fine.
Which club do you associate sex toys with the most?
West Ham. The Dildo Brothers.
Of course, yeah.
Would be the obvious place to go with it. Or Birmingham, as it would have been probably back then. I don't know. I feel like it'd be more of a club with lads. I can imagine it happening at Leeds, truth be told.
Yeah, that's fair.
Liverpool, Newcastle. I don't know. Norwich is a bit family club.
Everton.
Jake Humphrey. There you go. Everton.
Okay.
Such a special dildo.
Exactly.
And all that.
Then you can gift it to one of the players' mums.
Thanks, Michael. So we've got Bryn Law on Friday. We've got the match ball after the whole game on Saturday. And we've got members on Sunday, talking about some good kettle chat in that. And then Monday.
Well, she had to be recorded, actually. Who knows if the kettle chat's any good?
Let's hope so. And then we've got Graham Smith with a transfer debrief on the West Stand on Monday. Look out for all those. See you later.
The Square Ball Podcast.